We're going to make honey cornbread. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with a cup of medium or coarsely ground cornmeal. And we're going to add to that a cup of buttermilk, or in this case, buttermilk substitute. And as always, I'll link to that above. We're going to set this aside and let it soak for several minutes to soften the cornmeal up. If we don't make it soft, it makes for pretty grainy cornbread. So we'll set that aside. And then in this bowl, we'll add our dry ingredients together, which are 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Now, to that 1 cup of flour, we need to add a 1/2 cup of white sugar, a 1/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So stir those together a little bit. Then we add a tablespoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And as I've mentioned in the past, it's so humid in here that I have to cover my salt when I measure it out. I'm going to stir this with a fork because it makes it easier to break up any lumps. At this point, we're going to add some other things to this. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup of honey, if you liked maple flavoring, you could also use maple syrup and end up with a maple flavored cornbread, which doesn't sound too bad at all. But I have never tried it. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to add 2 eggs. First, we'll beat those eggs up with a fork a little bit. And then we'll add them into our wet ingredients. Now we combine our wet and dry ingredients. You really don't want to overmix this, but you do want it so that everything is mixed. This will be a moist, nice textured, and a little sweet cornbread. Okay, to that we add a half cup of butter, which we melted and allowed to cool slightly. And mix that in. And at this point, I think I'm going to use a whisk. A spoon doesn't do a great job of mixing melted butter in. But the whisk does a pretty reasonable job. Okay, what we're going to do now is pull that pan out of the oven. Because when we pour in the batter, we want it to sizzle. It starts to develop a nice crust around the outside. This is what it's looking like sitting in the pan. And I'm hoping I'm doing that well because I'm holding the camera by hand. And then it's going to go back into the oven. We're going to set our timer for about 25 minutes. I put this in the oven too hot. It's kind of well done, but I think it's going to be good just the same. So let's cut a slice of it and take a look and see what we got. We have a nice moist slice of cornbread that's a little done on the bottom and the back. But I'm going to eat it and enjoy it anyway because I really, really like cornbread. Once again, thanks for watching. By the way, the temperature of the oven should have been 350, not 450. So thank you very much for watching. If you make this, don't put it in too hot an oven. Thanks.